So we're gonna get started with the shaker door, and we're gonna review the tools that we're gonna be using for this job, and explain what certain tools, how we use it, and try to make this job as practical as possible. So anyone that wants to start carpentry or wants some tips or tricks to make the door as simple as possible, you can try to do it at home. And these tools are kind of basic as it is. You can get them at Home Depot or Harbor Freight, and we'll review one by one. So for the first tool, we're gonna use a table saw. You can use a portable table saw as well. And the second tool we have is a skill saw. We use it to cut down the lumber. This is the estimated material that we're gonna use. And basically a tape measure, a pencil. The second tool we're gonna be using is a router and the router bits. We have this table for a router bit to put the measurements to get the grooves for the door. And these are the router bits that we use, which you can also get at Home Depot or Harbor Freight. And those are the basic tools we're going to be using today. So before we get started, I'm going to give a straight angle and square out the lumber that we have for the material. And then we'll start cutting out towards the measurements that we need for the doors. Once you're done straightening out your material, we're going to start cutting this to strips of 2.5 inches. And from there we're going to start figuring out the measurements for the doors. So this is the cabinet from the previous video. These are the doors that we're going to be making for this cabinet. The hole we have 28.5 by 45.75. So to get the door sizes for this cabinet, we measure the opening, which the opening has the height of 28.5, the width is 43.75. Now to get the measurements for the doors, for the height we have to add 1/4 of an inch to the bottom and to the top, which it gives us the height of 29. And for the width, we have to split it in half and add 1/2 inch to the size of the door, which will give us 23.3/8. So for the frame, the height for the frame would be 29 by 2.5 inches, which are the strips of 2.5 that we cut. And for the width will be 19.1/8, which we take away 5 plus 3/8 on each side that the door assembly was going to do. It increases to 3/4, which will give us 19.1/8 by 2.5. panel, we're gonna use measurements from the door frame. The height we still have 29 with the width of 19 1/8. Now to get the panel, the height we'll take away 5 plus 3/4, which will be 3/8 of the route groove, which will give us 24 3/4. Now for the width, we still remain the same because the panel has to be the same as the header. So for the bit that we use is one for 1/4, and we use this one as well, which is a 3/8, and that should be able to give us the groove for the assembly for the male and female. So by the time we're done routing, the measurements for the front should be 3/16, the center will be 1/4, and the bottom will be 3/8. So once you're done passing it and passing the other one long ways, it should be able to assemble. As you can see, you have proof assembly. This piece obviously goes this way. And then you will have your finished groove route for the assembly of the door. So here are the shaker doors already built. All we need to do now is sand them down and do the holes for the hinges. So this is the way I build the shaker doors. Hopefully this helps you have an idea of the way to come up to build your own shaker doors. Thank you.